Hello and welcome back to West Ham Network and Wednesday night, of course, slightly earlier start time. Joined by myself, actually, is Kieran to my left, that side, and below us, Tommy, Irish Tommy. How are you, Tom?
Roger, how are you, my old friend?
I'm all good. And how about you, Kieran? How are you, sir?
Yeah, all good, mate. Sun's just come up, so it's nice and fresh. Lovely.
Yeah, you were saying it's only just come up and all with this earlier start tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in the shower at 6 o'clock this morning just to wake me up so I could get ready. That's lovely, it. How you, Tommy?
Good, Kieran. Good. Is it cold over there at the moment?
No, just chilly in the mornings. This is a beautiful time of year to be in Brisbane anyway, in Queensland. It's cold down south. The boys there from Sydney and Melbourne will be feeling it. They get down to about 6-7 degrees overnight, but it still gets to 22 during the day. So we have beautiful days, you know.
Oh, just say good evening to some people in the chat then. Usual suspect, he's in the house. He starts us off with a little musical ditty every night, every week. So that one there, who's that? Hybrid Minds daughter. Never heard of it, but I will check it out. Oh yeah, that was my reply. Fred Fielder, good evening, Sean. We've got Super Lopetegui. He knows exactly what we need. Resilience at the back, resilience in attack. West Ham will win the Champions League. All right, son. That's the next chant for us. James Bong's in the house. Good evening to you, James. Brendan Toha is in the house. Evening all. Usual, you throwing drum and bass into the chat. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. And I'm going to miss the next two comments from Sean because we'll come to them after we've said hello to a few other people. I'll message you the whole article to read at your leisure down the line. Thank you, Sean. Brilliant. Excellent. Saying hello to each other and us, to me. Who else have we got? Duke is in the house. Good evening to you, sir.
Okay.
DJ Painkiller. Love that. Might as well be excited until we're not. Well, I'm gonna get to that point in a minute as soon as we've been through the chat and see who's in. Mark Pendleton is in the chat. Oh, no, you didn't get that one. Stephen Gold. Good evening, Stephen. And there's a few others. And Lynn is in the house. Looking forward to the show. Sending hugs. Sending them back, darling. Thank you very much. Okay, right. So, are we to be excited or worried or concerned about this next season coming up? Well, just before we discuss this, I want to bring up a couple of comments from Sean. They're both related. Too many digits to put into one message. So what he says is, Lopetegui's fine work at Sevilla came against the backdrop of a vast squad upheaval. In his first season, 15 new players arrived.
Wow.
Over the course of the campaign, and 19 left. This was essentially an entirely new squad, and he quickly moulded them into a team that went on to win the Europa League and finish 4th in La Liga. Now, that's quite a statement, and that's actually, like Sean said in the comment I read earlier, there's a full article on it, so I will read that. I'll probably try and, I don't know, get some way to get it to you boys. In fact, I'll probably WhatsApp it to you so you can have a look yourselves later. But so initially, I'll come to you first, Tom. What are your feelings towards the start of the season? You like it bubbling up? Are you excited by it, or are you bored with it? How are you feeling, mate?
No, I'm excited. I'm excited to see the new direction that we're going in. We're already seeing the signs of it. No mucking about in this transfer window. No dithering. Looks like we want to get some business done early. The profile of player, even though we've got only one signing in, but some of the stronger links, potentially Wesley as well, another really exciting younger player, very attacking, exciting, skillful. So I like the direction we're going in already. It's obviously a complete departure from what we've been used to under David Moyes. You look at some of the names that are leaving the club. It looks like Zoom is going to be out in the cold immediately. Suchek, I'd imagine, will be surplus requirements because they're just not the type of player that will suit Lopetegui's system. So I'm excited for the new direction that we're taking. Obviously, it's not going to be an overnight thing. It's going to take time to completely rejig the squad. But I think the good thing for Lopetegui, actually, maybe that we don't have European football next season. He's not going to need to overhaul the entire squad in one window. If he can get the 6 or 7 players in that he wants, I mean, that would already be quite a major change. So I'm very excited. It'll take maybe 3 or 4 windows to get to where maybe Lopetegui more or less wants to be. But I think it's very exciting times. I like some of the names we're linked with. It shows the direction we're going. Younger players who are more ball players, more exciting, skillful, and younger, which is going to be important as well, as we have the second oldest squad in the Premier League. But this is a team that's going to be built for pace and to have, good possession of the ball. So I'm actually really excited, even though I'm not, expecting a huge amount next season, or demanding too much next season. I think it is going to be a season of transition. But I think the fact he's only got Premier League to worry about in the domestic cups, he should be able to navigate it okay. But
so you're kind of managing your expectations.
Yeah. So he's not going to need a huge squad for next season. So he doesn't have to get all the players in that he needs.
He can start with the building blocks.
Yeah, he can start with the building blocks of trying to bring in some new first team players in key positions that he feels he needs. Even if the bench isn't the kind of bench he really needs next season, that's something that can be worked on in later windows once he's got the
he's got an eye for the youth, so maybe he wants to use some of the youth on the bench and see how they go. I mean, that may be his way of introducing youth into the side. Who knows? I mean, I could be completely wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we'll see a glut of youngsters, but there are probably a couple of them. I think George Earthy has got his foot in the door now, and I think he'll be in the squad. Possibly Casey as well. He's doing really well at the moment for England's under-20s, performing really well. So he possibly will get his place on the bench. Also, it looks like Ben Johnson will likely sign a new 5-year deal, which is great. That's a positive step. Obama, they're trying to get to sign a new contract.
There you go, right on cue.
I I think that's very harsh from Hammers Mikey, to be honest.
So do I, to be fair.
Yeah, I don't think he's pony. I think he'd be a good squad player for us, and with better coaching as well, I think he'll improve. So
yeah, and I mean, I know he's been a little bit of a utility player of late, but Lopetegui will probably, most certainly, find his best place, and will use him there. What about you, Kieran? How do you feel towards the start of the season?
I'm excited for it. It's a new manager, mate. I've got a history at West Ham. We've not had that many new managers to look forward to, have we? We've been compared to the rest of the league. We've been, we don't change that often, and we normally stick with managers probably too long. We've always done that. But this guy, I'm looking forward to it. Steinen is the beauty of it, isn't he? Because I was more excited when we brought him in at the time than the signings we'd made, because I thought this is the future of West Ham. Bringing in players, young players, good players, try to develop them, maybe have them 3 years, maybe more, and then sell them on. Now, I think this is the format we have to go down. We can't keep throwing money away on the likes of Allers and Skamakas and Andersons. You can't survive like that. Sooner or later that catches up with you and you end up fucking getting relegated because you can't afford any more players. You can't keep throwing money away. And I think that's the trouble we had with Moyes was he was a 50% manager. He got 50% signings right, 50% wrong. Now I'm looking at Stein and Lopetegui between them trying to get 80 to 90% right. And if they can do that, the future looks bright. Yeah. And like Tommy said, to start your business early, chasing this boy Guilherme, and I think it is a punt. I'd say it's a punt. He's been touted since he was about 12 years of age, this boy, being a superstar. Yeah. But it is a punt to spend that much money on a boy that might not be quite ready for
than any of the others were, like Joe Cole, Rio.
Well, they were ours. We didn't have to go and buy them. That's just sometimes you just know a boy is top player. It from a very early age. Now we're bringing this Guilherme in, and I think it could be a great sign. It could be so exciting. I think I've always thought Kudos was a better signing than Paquetá. I think he's going to give you more in the end, and I think we'll probably get more money for Kudos in the end when he eventually leaves. But as long as we've got a line-up to back that up, still be looking, bringing in players. Yeah, I think it's exciting times. Like Tommy, I don't expect too much of the manager next year. If we put anything between 8th and 12th, I expect, to finish. That's where, if he, achieves more than that, fucking happy days. A good cup run will be great. That would, and then you don't have to worry too much about the league. Just keep good in the league. I'd love to see us go into a cup run. But it is all about the signings. And it's always going to be a transition year. Again, we hold on to players probably too long. And we probably still are, but we might have to this year. I think we were relying on Paquetá money. And I think that's why we went back into negotiations with Johnson, because now we're not guaranteed of selling him. So I think we needed cover for the right back position rather than go and spend 15, 20 million on a right back. That can save us money there. It's not ideal for me, but I think it's probably a good idea to keep him as a squad player and as backup. And maybe he can get better under Lopetegui.
Can I ask you guys a quick question? A bit interesting one.
Go on.
It's regarding Flynn Downs. Now, for me, if Lopetegui decides to bring him back into the squad for next season, that's absolutely fine by me. I have no problem with that. But were Southampton to slap a £20 million offer on the table, would you consider that to be too good to turn down?
Yeah.
Or would you rather bring him into the squad and see what he could do next season under the new regime? Which way would you go on that?
I'll be happy with both of them, Tom. Because if he could make him that cover for Alvarez or a better defense.
What I mean, Kieran, is hypothetically, if the offer came in and you're deciding whether to take that 20 million or not, do you take it?
I think I would, because I'd like to think we've got a player lined up to replace him for that. Who's better? You know, that it depends on that. Do we have another player to bring in that's better than Downs and we can get for that same sort of money? But that's how I'd look at it. If you haven't, and you think, oh, it might be best keeping him. But I think 20 million, what we paid 10 for him as well. He's a good player, but I don't think he's a great player. Could we get better for 20 million? That's really down to starting.
Yeah.
Or you could spend it elsewhere. Maybe if you really like Freddie Potts, for example. You know, you could try and develop Freddie Potts.
Exactly.
The backup player in midfield, and you know, spend that money elsewhere.
Agreed. Yeah.
And that's really down to being on the training pitch to know whether Freddie Potts is good enough to take that step up or not. And because I do believe because when we bought Phillips, the worst fucking loan signing in the world, but the idea of it was right. We did need cover for Alvarez, and Phillips was Moyes' answer. And I still think we need that cover. And because Phillips was a disaster, but the idea of that position was the right thing to do. So, and we're still there. We still haven't got that cover for Alvarez or to play alongside Alvarez. And as you mentioned, is Souček. I think Souček's been a great signing for West Ham. I really do. I don't think he gets enough credit. But everything about Lopetegui says he isn't going to suit. So do we look at offloading him? I'm not so sure. But if we did, then we need another player to replace that position.
Well, I think that's fine, because I think we can get 20-odd million as well for Souček. Souček's stock is still quite high. And I think, you know, a player like Souček, there's always going to be a team that feel like they need a player like him.
Absolutely,
yeah. He actually, as much stick as we have given him, a lot of us, including myself, I think that the perception of Souček outside the club from other managers is that he's a very decent Premier League player who has to offer.
And very useful.
I just don't think there's anything to offer a Lopetegui team. But
that's probably true.
Someone else. So I think if you could get 20 million, I don't see why Souček could not be replaced with a player better suited to Lopetegui for that same kind of money. We should absolutely be able to find someone for 20 million who can pay more akin to what Lopetegui's looking for.
Yeah. I mean, you know, one of the things that seems to be quite obvious now is that all of the confirmed in, you know, speech marks, if you like, all of the confirmed targets or all of the transfer targets that we're going for, there's a youth about it all. I mean, I think 25 or 26 is the eldest player I've heard that we've been seriously linked to. I think he's about 25 or 26, which obviously, you know, Lopetegui, as I said, he's known for liking the younger players. I think, he probably feels they've got more energy and desire. But, like this young lad, Guilherme, he seems to be the real deal at the moment. What's his favourite position? Do you know? Because
he's played mostly on the right wing, Palmeiras.
Left foot.
Yeah, but he can play centrally as well. So I don't think we're buying him to play on the left. I don't think that's why he was bought. I think he's an understudy, basically, to Bowen and Kudus. So he can play on the right place centrally. So you could see really where I think he'd be used is if Bowen was tiring, needed to come off, or Kudus is tiring, needs to come off, then the last kind of 15, 20 minutes you could chuck Guilherme on the right wing or through the middle in the 10, and he can do it up there and just allow him to grow and develop. We may see him in the Carabao Cup or FA Cup, depending on the draw. If we get if we draw a Championship side, League One side, I think we could see him start those games. But I think he's there really with a player that we believe he will become, rather than the player he is right now. Even though he's still obviously got some quality right now and he's an exciting prospect, he still has a lot of growing and learning to do. But you know, if he's very talented, he should be able to do that pretty quickly. And as soon as the kind of 25, 26 season, he should really be like up and running in the Premier League, and we should be starting to see him fulfill some of that potential, I would hope.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about some of the forgotten men in the squad. We'll kick things off with my first choice forgotten man, if you like. Maxwell Cornet. Does he have a future at the club? I mean, personally, I would like to see him.
That's one. That's one. It's hard to say. I'm not sure what Lopetegui thinks of him. Obviously, he's got some ability. So that's a tough one to call. I wouldn't be concerned either way with Cornet. If Lopetegui decides, you know, he doesn't fancy him, wants to move him on, I have no problem with that. But equally, if he decided, look, let's take a look at him at least for next season, see what we've got. Is he someone that we can use for next season? Because at the moment, our options on that left-hand side, I mean, he's basically it. So I suspect we will obviously buy a left-sided midfielder. But the talk is, and which could actually make the decision for Lopetegui, is that apparently this deal, that Brazilian left winger, what's his name? The other one.
Sorry.
Wesley,
yeah. So
Wesley.
Apparently the deal for Wesley could be back on, but it could be a case of that we need to allow him to stay with his club until the end of the Brazilian season, which comes in December, and then he comes into us in January. So if that were the case, it may be the wise thing to do to just keep Cornet around for one more season, or at least until the January transfer window, before we get rid. If we're not going to get Wesley in immediately, you know, if we have to wait until January for him. So that one I don't know, and I'm not pushed either way, to be honest. But I would be intrigued to see if Lopetegui could actually get a tune out of him, because I do think there's a player there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of agree with 99.9% of that, mate. You know, it was only one breath in the middle of the whole of that I didn't agree with. No, but I think Cornet, you know, is a player that has been grossly underused. I mean, I'm not so convinced that his injuries were quite so severe that kept him out for so long. But he spent so long on the bench, you know, with very minimal amount of game time. And I think that was a personal choice by David Moyes rather than a footballing choice. I've got a funny feeling, you know.
Yeah, I think he got on the wrong side of Moyes, and and that was the end of that. You know what it is?
Yeah.
You get on the wrong side of
going
Moyes.
to France to recuperate from your injury.
Yeah, I think
what upset David Moyes. But what David Moyes failed to understand in that scenario, in my opinion, is that recovery is best when you're comfortable. And he's obviously comfortable at home with his family. So recovery is going to be a lot quicker, a lot more, you know. I listen, I agreed with him going. I've got to be honest. I'm probably in the minority, but I agreed with him going. Because, listen, I'd rather recover. If I had any illnesses or whatever, again, I would rather recover at home here with my son, my family, than in a bloody hospital bed or whatever.
I think it's long after that. The problem was with Moyes, I think, with him. Because I remember the game near the end of last season where, you know, we needed to make changes, and rather than bring a left winger on and Corner, I think he switched it about and put Johnson out there. Yeah, and that tells you everything about their relationship. He didn't want to even put him on the pitch. He didn't want to even. Whether it's that because he's so bad in training and his attitude shit, it never seemed to look shit when he came on. He always looked like he was trying. But Moyes did not want him, and that's the end of that. So, just I don't know what player we got there. I don't know if we got a player there or who wants to play or not. So I'm hoping he is. You know, he could be that Burnley player, because that's like a new signing. If we could turn him around.
Exactly.
But I don't nobody know.
And it fills the space in the side that we are desperate to fill. And, you know, I don't use that word lightly either. We're
Don't worry. We got Ben Rama. We got Ben Rama coming back, eh?
That was the next player that I was going to bring up in conversation.
Oh, don't.
Is it true that Leon have got a transfer embargo?
Yeah, Tom, they've got an embargo. They want to buy him for the 20-odd million, and but they're not allowed to because of this embargo. So now we're in limbo.
Do we extend the loan?
What do we do? Or do we send him back on loan, which doesn't really help us because we really want the money, don't we?
Yeah.
So,
all the players.
But if it's not going to be Leon, you'd imagine there would be a market for him, Ben Rama.
There could be, but by all reports from, he's happy there. He wants to go there. You know, everyone's happy with the deal. West Ham, Leon, Ben Rama. So it would be a shame if it couldn't be done.
Yeah, maybe we could flog him to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. Anywhere for me, but that's just me.
No, that's not necessary, Kieran. Look, he says it and fucks off. He's such a little bugger, isn't he? But you know, I mean, we've also got what's his face coming back? Tilo Kehrer?
No, he's gone.
No,
Monaco have bought him.
They've actually bought him now, have they?
Yeah.
Right, okay. And what about Fornals? He's been
well when the window opens, he's going to Monaco. They want to. He's had a very good season for them, so Monaco want to sign Kehrer on permanent.
And what's the story with Fornals? Is he's permanent? He left
permanently last January.
Yeah.
That was a permanent deal.
Yeah, I was just reminding myself that was all. Yeah, excellent. Right, so hang on, I just want to go back to this comment. Balls deep. He says, "Do these shows more often, lads? I usually have to watch on replay." Well, we would like to, but you know, unfortunately, you know, we've kind of got our own agendas and lives, and we do this show because we enjoy it, but you know, I've got my own channel and I don't do very much stuff with that because I haven't got the time for it at the moment, so I'm a bit busy. So but we will be doing these all the way through the off season, you know. So thank you for that comment though. G'day, Simon. What's he saying? Melbourne Hammers. Non-football question to Kieran. Did Queensland... Oh, is Queensland having any of the tobacco wars that Victoria's having? 65 plus businesses have been firebombed so far. Wow.
What? Oh, I don't know about that, Simon. They don't give us many Victorian news up here, but I'll be interested in that. Because
tobacco wars sounds like something from the 1930s or something, doesn't it?
Or earlier.
Well,
1800s.
I've got a feeling I might know what he's talking about because there's a couple of certain shops here that you can go to, and you can buy this tobacco or cigarettes, tailor-mades, or the loose stuff, and I don't know where it comes from, mate. They call it chop, the loose stuff. And basically you get it for a quarter of the price what you normal cigarettes cost. Right. So I think it might have something to do with that. So, yeah, I'll have to look into that, Simon. Anyway, how you doing, Simon, from the Melbourne Hammers?
Yeah. We have a similar thing over here. And we just call it like either fake tobacco or snide tobacco. Chop. I like that. That sounds about right. Chop stuff. Where the hell was that?
I may or may not be smoking it now.
hard to prove. Hard to prove. So anyway, what else have we got? What else have we got, chaps? Anything you want to talk about there, Kieran? While we're going through some of these comments.
No, but what Tommy's like I say, we've got a season to look forward to. We've got a new manager in place. Quite happy that Moyes left. So Tommy, yourself, you're looking forward to the next season. Do you expect us to try and get back into Europe? Will that be the aim of West Ham? Is that our target, or is it just to steady the ship, rebuild a team, and look to the future for the season after?
No, I think Lopetegui will look to qualify for Europe. If he gets the players he wants, which hopefully, Tim will get it done for him, I think he'll be certainly looking to finish in the top 10 and hopefully push for a European spot. I think that's the aim from Lopetegui and his staff. And I don't see why we can't do it. I know it's a time of transition. There's going to be a number of players out and a number of players in. Whether we'll hit the ground running or not, it's hard to say. It certainly will help if we get our business done early, because it means we can get these players in for a proper pre-season, which will help them to great and be ready for the new season. So I'm still quite optimistic. I still think we'll be a top 10 side. Whether we can finish in the European place remains to be seen, but I don't think the pressure is on for that next season. I think Lopetegui, I think the fans will give him that one season of grace, just to put his stamp on things. That can take a little time, especially when you're changing so many players in and out, and so it can take a little while for everything to get settled down and your stride.
And I think West Ham fans will give him that time, Tom. I really do. Yeah, I think Rome weren't built in a day. He needs a bit of time. I think we will do. And as with Moyes, you knew that even after he'd won that cup, that really was the ideal time for him to go, wasn't it? Yeah, because of that Premier League season we had, and we basically knew that last season was going to be the same, and it was. It was actually worse to watch. But I think they'll give him the time.
It's all very well us giving the new coaching staff and the new team building exercise time, but will the board give them the time that they deserve?
Yeah, of course. Sullivan's just given him a 2-year deal. He didn't sack Moyes when it looked like he might get us relegated.
Exactly.
Didn't sack him at any point in the second half of last season. Sullivan doesn't tend to sack people quickly.
No.
Something would have to go drastically wrong for that to happen. I don't think
style.
It'd have to be Roberto levels, wouldn't it, to get rid of him?
Pellegrini. I mean, I think he was cut short, wasn't he? Just in answer to that comment, what you started earlier, yes, if you'd have kept an eye on the groups on WhatsApp, you'd have known yesterday that we were starting earlier, and you would have got the notification at about 9 o'clock this evening that we were starting early. So, just to let you know, lots of people in the chat that I've missed the names, but I have put them up on the screen. But good evening to everybody. There's 244 watching. How many likes have we got? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But don't forget to hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. It does help us.
I've got a question for you.
Yeah, go on, Tom.
It's looking at the moment like this Lucas Paqueta thing could rumble on for a few more months potentially.
Right.
Do you think his head will be right next season and he'll be able to actually perform as long as this is hanging over him, or are you not too worried about that?
Well, when it first came out, Tommy, he was still performing. When the allegations first came out, it didn't seem to affect him then. But the last part of the season, he weren't with it. And
yeah, see, that's why I was asking. I was just wondering if his performances dipped kind of at the time when he was told, may not have been
Yeah.
public, but maybe at the time that he was told that he was going to be charged. And I wonder if that affected him.
right. Well, I don't know. He was really poor for the last couple of months there of the season, wasn't he? And that was before he was actually told that he was being charged. So I don't know whether that's a factor or not.
Well, there might be a difference between when he knew and when it
True.
became public.
Yeah, maybe, Tommy, maybe. Because he was shit, wasn't he? He was really shit. And it could have affected him. Maybe that was it. I don't really know that. But you want to hope not, because otherwise we've got a player sitting there that's not worth anything to us on the pitch, and we can't sell him. So I'd like to think he'd come back. Lopetegui will get him going again, but that's really down to him.
Yeah, well, apparently he came on for the last 30 minutes for Brazil against Mexico, and did very well. Apparently, as soon as he came on, he kind of settled Brazil down, and that was kind of the first time where Brazil actually looked in control of the game and looked comfortable in the game after he came on. So that would suggest his head is okay. So,
yeah, I mean, the thing is, Tom, playing for your club and playing for your country are two completely different mindsets. Yeah, I mean, I've been watching some stuff that, you know, some of the current England squad have been saying, and you know, that they confirm that for me, that, you know, playing for your club, yeah, you have to play well for your club to be able to get the chance to play your international football. But on the same token, when you do get your chance in the internationals, you want to perform because it's on a national scale rather than just on a league scale.
Yeah. Plus, he probably doesn't want to get dropped again. Do you remember when the allegations first came out, they dropped him from the squad? It was only fan pressure because Brazil's performances dropped so badly without Paqueta. I think the fans kind of demanded they bring him back. So maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah. Because I remember even Southgate picked Tony, didn't he, for a game when he'd been charged. He didn't play him, but he did pick him for the squad, which I think is right. If you might be in charge, you're not guilty of anything until you are or you're not. So I don't see why Brazil was so quick to drop him out of it. You know, it's just an allegation.
Exactly. It was a very strange thing to do, and I'm not sure why they made that decision. It was certainly premature. I mean, you know, as long as he's free to play and he hasn't been found guilty of anything, then, you know, let the man cook.
Well, if we keep him next year, we're a hell of a bonus if he, you know, performs to what he can perform to. You know, well, you got him and Kudos there and Bowen and this young lad.
Yeah, especially, you know, if he's found not guilty, it could be huge for us because, you know, like Man City won't necessarily come back in for him even if he's found not guilty because they might consider it to be too big of a gamble in case he goes off and does something else and gets himself in trouble. Just because he's found not guilty doesn't mean Man City will take that kind of risk for 85 million quid. So, you know, we may end up keeping him because clubs might not be willing to shell out that kind of money on a player who possibly is involved in some dodgy gambling and might get done for something else down the road. So we could end up keeping him because no one's willing to take that risk on him.
Yeah, that's very true. And what's that? It's a bonus for us if we keep him. I just believed at the time we might have needed the money. You know, I really believe that. I'm not sure we got as much money as people think. And I think that was part of the plan.
But if you look at it, I mean, we're going to sell. I think we're going to sell a number of players. You know, we've got some money coming in. I think we'll sell Flynn Downs to Southampton.
Yeah,
we've got the Care money. We should have the Ben Rama money. And we can sell, you know, if we could get 20 million for Souček. So on top of what we have to spend already, we should be able to kind of do one out, one in kind of transfer business. So I think we
And
should
like
be,
that comment from Peter there says, you know, Zuma's been put on the transfer
yeah,
list.
which is right too. And I know Epic is saying who would want to buy Zuma. You'd be amazed the market for players. Like there's always going to be some club that will come and get him. You know, I think
Yeah,
his wages aren't massive. I think we'd have a much bigger problem trying to get rid of Danny Ings. I don't think anybody's paying him that kind of money. So I think we're stuck with Ings, and I think he's got 2 more years left in his contract. That was a ridiculous sum.
Madness.
Should never have been
Madness.
sanctioned. Absolute madness. So I think Ings is the problem. 125k a week. I think we're stuck with him for the 2 seasons that his contract runs, because I don't see him. Why would he leave at his age? Like, this is the last big contract he's going to get. Why would he leave and play somewhere else for 70 or even 80k a week when that's a lot of money to lose every week. A lot of money. I wouldn't do it.
Unreal amount of money. Unreal. But there you go. It's another player that we've committed to pay millions and millions of pounds, and but it'll always go back for Moyes. I can look at Moyes and say, "Fuck me, what were you doing?" But people are telling me that it wasn't even a Moyes signing. That it was Mr. Sullivan brought him in.
You can't have it both ways, though, bud.
I know.
No, I'm not
Exactly.
Listen, you can't have it both ways. We've been told all along.
Yeah, he got the final say.
Had the final say on whether the player was signed or not. So he has to take ownership of it.
I agree, man. And what's your thoughts, Tommy, on Aguirre? Have you heard anything about whether he still wants out or still wants to leg it, or are we keeping him?
No, I think Aguirre wants out. I don't think he ever really settled in London. So I think we're flogging a dead horse there. So I think you try and get as much money for him as you can. There should be plenty of suitors for Aguirre. So I think I'll be shocked if he's not gone by the end of.
No, I would agree. But here's our problem then. So you lose Aguirre, you've lost Ogbonna, might lose Zuma. That's 3 centre halves we need. That's hard work.
Casey can replace Ogbonna on the bench. And I think it was always the case that we were going to sign 2 centre halves.
Well, they need to get onto that. That's going to be our priority then if this goes through. If Aguirre walks and we sell him and we do sell Zuma.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry. I think we'll sign 2 centre halves, and plus we have Casey, so I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, interesting.
Don't says anything other than top 4 will be a failure.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, but I'll tell you what, it might be good to have a year off Europe, have a break from it.
Well, I think it's a good thing for Lopetegui. I think it's a godsend for Lopetegui because, not only did we have the second oldest squad in the Premier League last season, it was also possibly the thinnest squad. So he doesn't have the kind of numbers that he would need to take on a European campaign. There's no way he would be able to get that done in one summer. So I think it's actually a godsend for him because this summer he can concentrate on improving the first 11 with a few new players who can play the style of football that he wants to play. And then next season, fingers crossed, if we have qualified for Europe, then he can worry about kind of filling out the squad depth a little bit. That'll be his 3rd transfer.
Exactly.
So that gives him a bit of time to do what he needs to do. But we don't need for next season,
Yeah, because he'll have the January and then the next summer's window to actually put a team together that he wants.
Yeah, he won't need a big squad for a Premier League.
No, it'll be interesting times. Like I say, it's all about the signings, isn't it? We've not even had the window open yet, and it looks like we've got one over the line, and we're chasing lots more. So hopefully, it's all about that. What we bring in to replace what we're going to lose, and that'll determine the season.
It will.
Yeah,
I've got confidence that Tim Steidten will actually bring in the right kinds of players. He's been given a remit and he's been told to do his thing. You know, so far so good. You know, with him, we've had great results from his scouting or his dealings. You know, so
Yeah.
you know, long may that continue, because at the moment I think he's building quite a decent reputation for himself with with the players at this club. You know, that's
Yeah, and I
aside
mean,
from what
as well as that, I do think that he will try to develop a couple of the youngsters. Probably, definitely, I think Earthy and Casey, and
Yeah.
possibly a third. Who knows if there's another one there that he really likes?
Potts,
Um,
perhaps.
yeah, maybe Freddie Potts. So I think he will try to develop some youngsters, and this would be a good season to start doing it, because, as you say, he will have that one season's grace. Where he can integrate a couple of youngsters. So, and we'd
Yeah.
all love to see that, of course. And I think the fans would give him a bit more grace as well if we saw him doing that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Tom, do you know anything about the O'Brien fella that we're linked with?
Honestly, not a lot. But I don't actually watch League of Ireland. You can only watch so much sport, and I don't watch the Irish League. And apparently, they've got him from Cork City. So I'd never heard of him until we were linked with him. That's the honest answer. I
Okay.
don't really
I
watch that.
didn't even know we were linked with anybody from the Irish League. I have to be honest.
No, he's playing for Leon.
Oh, he's playing for Leon. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So possibly, if Leon want Ben Rama and we really want this O'Brien guy, then we could do a swap deal there, maybe
Yeah.
part exchange deal there. Ben
Yeah,
Rama.
and
O'Brien.
yeah,
But
do a
I
deal with
don't know
them so that when their embargo's over, they can then pay the money.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Because obviously Ben Rama is going to demand a higher fee than O'Brien.
Very clever, Fresh. Yeah.
He is actually quite quick with stuff like that. I love it. It's very funny. Yeah. Loppy speaks several languages, apparently. Don't know if Budgie and Kieran would agree, says GP, but someone told me much older that Bobby was a better international player than club player.
We see, I think there's a false dichotomy there. Now, obviously, I didn't see him play live, for like, or in person for West Ham or
Right.
England before my time, but I think that's a false dichotomy, that question, because you only play so many times for your country, whereas you're playing week in, week out for your club. Then, of course, your form for your club will be a bit more up and down. You'll have some games for your club where you're brilliant, and other games where you're okay. Maybe you have the odd disappointing game, make the odd error, but you only, especially, there was not as many international.
I think.
So
I think the honest answer to that, though, is that his international career was far more revered than his club career was.
Well, he was playing in a lot better team internationally at the time. England had a great team.
He was the World Cup winning captain, so
he was. But you had the likes of Bobby Charlton in there, didn't you? And Gordon Banks and Jack Charlton.
I mean, he is
Alan Ball,
the only England national team captain to ever lift the greatest trophy in the world.
Well, and obviously for me,
that actually probably clouds some people's judgment on whether. I'm
not sure it clouds it much. What I'm saying is, when he played internationally, everyone in the country watched it, right? So they got a better perspective of how good he was, as we did with Bobby Charlton's and the rest of them, right?
Yeah.
Well, back in them days, West Ham weren't on the telly. So unless you're a West Ham supporter, you didn't realise how good he was. It's a bit like, say, Declan Rice. We're raving on about Declan Rice last year, and Arsenal fans at the beginning go, "Oh, he ain't that good. He ain't that good." But you don't watch him 90 minutes every week. We do. We do know how good he is.
Some of the pundits are stating that he's up there to be player of the season.
There you go. That now they're raving on about him that he's playing for Arsenal, but he was always there. So it's one of them.
He got second place in Arsenal's Player of the Season.
Did he? Second place.
Yeah, Odegaard won.
Odegaard? Yeah. Had to be.
Yeah, he was quality. Odegaard.
Odegaard is quality, and you know it's you know it's inevitable. Like when you watch him play, you see how good he is. You know, and because we've had a few games against him this season, I've been able to watch him play more. You know, and he is very good. He would be the man to put right next to Alvarez. That's for sure. Oh, hang on a minute. I wanted to read that one out. Heard about the Larson striker, but his release clause is over 40 million. We can't stretch the budget far enough for that, can we?
No, I wouldn't think so.
It would very much depend on whether the scouting and coaching staff really, really want him, because they would make it stretch, if anything. Do you know what I mean? They would make it. They would make it happen. Even perhaps with, a young player in as part of the deal. Do you know what I mean? They would make it.
I don't even know who that is. Who is this Larson?
Yeah, sorry?
Who is he?
I don't really know.
No, mate. I don't take too much notice of all the links we get, Tommy, because we've had over 100 already, So
yeah.
I don't take much notice.
Yeah, and like Barry said, there's better out there and cheaper. I think Downs will go back to the Saints for about 15 million. Not enough money.
We'll see.
If we wanted to sign him from them, they'd be looking for 20.
Yeah.
We should be signing Ivan Toney. I've heard he's off to Spurs. Good. He won't win bugger all there either. Toney is a gamble.
I really like Ivan Toney. I think he'll do great things for Spurs, I have to be honest.
Yeah. I thought they were going to go in and buy him in January, because that's what Tottenham have been lacking, is that full-on striker. That's what they faded off at the end of the season. Richarlison doesn't quite do it. Yeah, they need that striker. Whether Tony's the answer, no, I think he's too expensive for us, but I think he's a top player.
They raved about Richarlison, and since he's been at Tottenham, he's only had 3 shots on target with his feet. 3 shots on target.
Yeah, I don't know why they went for him. I mean, I never really rated him, so
no.
He wasn't exactly pulling up trees at Everton, was he?
Yeah. That's a good point, old man. He says that Paqueta probably played shit because he was fed up with Moyes' stuff.
He weren't the only one, old man.
Yeah, he weren't. There was 2,500 bums on seats that were fed up with it. Who would want to buy Zuma? Well, we discussed this earlier, but good evening, Epic, by the way. We just maybe someone like Saudi or maybe.
Do you reckon Zuma would pass a medical?
Yeah, I know. You'd have to have a real dodgy medical team for him to get in your team, wouldn't you? Yeah. Can you lift your leg? Yep. You're in. That's it.
Can you speak English? Yep. You're captain. Right. And Ndombele. That weren't who winked. It was Dembele that winked, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just if that is what the Ndombele it was. Right. We should be able to spend 150 million this summer without any Paqueta sale. We should be able to, but whether we will or not is another matter entirely.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I've seen different numbers thrown about. I ain't got
I have too. I've seen 80 million being the budget without Paqueta money. That's one of the things. Didier drug dealer. Yeah, he's Muslim, so he will end up in Saudi. We're talking about Zuma, aren't we? Yeah. We got a good chance to see some of the youngsters in the pre-season games. Exactly. And that's one of the reasons why I'm saying I think, Lopetegui will be happy to at least half fill his bench with the under 21s and maybe even some of the under 18s.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who he takes to Florida with him.
Well, a lot of them will still be on international duty, so it's going to be a bare squad.
Well, I mean youngsters.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of youngsters going, I'd imagine, because of that. Because a lot of people, still be on. They've got Copa America and you've got the Euros, and then they'll need a break after that. So the actual pre-season for all them international players could be quite short.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy says Tony is already 28. He's far too old for Lopetegui.
No.
Then she says, mind you, it was him that signed Dawson for Wolves.
Yeah, I think they were on a really, really tight.
But I think that was already a done deal before he got there. I think that was out of his control.
Yeah, but he tried to sign Cresswell and Antonio.
He did. He did. And that may be part of the reason, maybe, that Cresswell got the extension. Because Lopetegui likes him.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
That could be part, yeah, but I want to keep Cresswell.
Yeah, he obviously likes him, but I think part of it is the money. I mean, that's one position that we don't have to go and chase yet. We can leave that till, the transfer window in January or next summer, because, we can't replace every position we need to. We just can't. We just can't afford it. And so that's a left back position we don't have to worry about.
Yeah, I saw a statement or an article stating that perhaps Emerson might be on his way out the door.
Yeah, I don't believe that, to be honest.
I don't believe it at all. Actually, I think Emerson is playing at his happiest right now. I think he's been really enjoying his football.
You can't afford to lose him, man.
We can't. We can't. He's more important to us, in my opinion, than Paquetá because of the position that he plays and how well he does it. And, let's not be under any delusions of grandeur. He's bloody good at his job, Yeah, let's go. Hang on. Sammy Amoruddin.
Yeah, I've seen us linked with him. Don't know who he is. Fofana would be an amazing signing, as would Jota Silva. Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, Fofana and Jota Silva. Yeah, we've actually been linked with Fofana for probably the last 3 windows.
Fofana's a strange one because he's up for grabs. And he's very highly rated. He's a very good player. But for some reason, as far as I can see, like the clubs aren't lining up and throwing in bids. Like he should have a number of suitors. And I haven't seen any scramble so far for Fofana. And I'm wondering why. Because everyone knows he's up for grabs. So I would have thought there would be a string of clubs that maybe would be putting in bids or so, but I haven't seen anything yet. But that's a strange one.
Yeah. Bruno deal is not dead.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't care. If it's Bruno or someone else. What I don't want us doing, which we've done in the past, is having these deals drag on beyond the point, of diminishing returns. I think at this point, with the Bruno deal, look, you either want to come or you don't. So make a fucking decision because we're moving on.
Yeah. Lee says he'd take Tony and Zaha, guaranteed quality for a couple of years, mixed in with some good new younger players and the academy.
See, the problem is,
the Zaha deal is completely dead in the water.
Good. I don't want him or Tony for the same reason, and it's not just the age. It's because I don't want us signing players who are heading towards 30 and are going to be on big wages that we can't fucking shift. In a couple of years' time, when they're on the wrong side of 30 and they're slowing down, we want to move on from them. Both of those players will be looking for big money. Just let them go somewhere else and age there. We need to be signing younger players that we can sell on easily later on, and hopefully for a nice profit.
I think there's a Zaha one for me. Would he be on a free?
I'm not sure.
If he's coming on a free, I thought I heard that. Is it Galatasaray or whatever he is? I reckon. Was it Fenerbahce? One of them. If he was on a free for a 2-year deal, I'd take a punt on it.
Zaha, you mean?
Would if he was, spending 20 million on him and 150 grand a week? No. But I thought if we could get him on a free, pay him 80 grand a week, not that it's my money, but I think that wouldn't be a bad deal.
Yeah.
So, but like you, Tommy, is that where we should be looking? No, it shouldn't be. But it could work for 2 seasons. But if he wanted a longer, 4-year deal or anything, no, it's wasted money. Don't do it.
I think he'll want more commitment than that because this is likely going to be his last big payday, and whichever club.
Yeah, that's the problem.
He's going to demand that kind of 4-year deal, 120k a week. I don't think we should be doing that.
Yeah, like we did with Ings.
Yeah, let's not keep going down that road.
It'll come good next year, Tom. It'll be coming good next year. You never know on the overtake. He might actually play him right, and he might come on and do a job for us. Who knows?
Well, no, don't get me wrong. I like Zaha as a player. He could absolutely do a job, and a good
Him
one.
and Antonio up front together next season.
Well, he's got to be another bit part player, you'd imagine, next season.
Yeah,
if we could, as long as we bring in someone to replace it. But you'd think Antonio would be off the bench for next season, which would be a good guy to have on the bench. That's fine.
Anyone Miranda updates anyway? I'm not even aware of who he is.
No, ain't got a clue.
Me neither.
No,
not
we are not.
Sorry, mate. We'll be a drag only playing once a week though. Well, once cups come around, happy, we'll be in all of them as well. Both of them.
Hopefully, go on a nice run in the Carabao Cup. Get some extra games in there.
Yeah. Have another Liverpool FA Cup final, and then get some retribution for 2006.
We could have a trophy before we start the season, Geezer, with the Betway Cup. We'll be fucking laughing.
Oh, mate, yeah, we ain't won it yet, and we fucking created it. Oh dear. Cool,
you know what would be fun if we could get the live chat to give us a team of players with a theme. So something to do with animals. So give us a team of players to do with the animal kingdom. So like Harry Canine. Yeah. So give us like a animal based theme.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Tom.
Yeah,
like
just a bit of fun in the chat. Come on, chat.
Yeah.
I know you come up with some absolute doozies. Come on. I'll start you off with Harry Canine.
There you go, Harry Canine up front.
We got anyone better than that?
Yeah, we've got one already from Freshfielder. He's quick off the mark, isn't he?
Hang on, wait a minute. I have to go all the way to the bottom there. Look.
Always, usually.
Bloody hell. There we go. Mickey Antonio. Very good.
Straight in.
Oh, very good.
Is that what? Does insects count as well then?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's from the animal kingdom, isn't it?
We must have heard a Ryan Fox. Was he a cricketer? I can't remember.
We had a Hayden Fox.
Hayden
Yeah.
Fox, that's the one I think of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can make up the names as well. You can, just as long as they
If we
sound
were in-
like real
If we were
players.
doing cricket, I would have said Colin Cowdrey.
Swan.
Yeah, well, they don't have to be West Ham players. Just any 11, that would be animal themed. What is that? What animal is that?
What's that? A Game of Thrones or something?
Freshfielder's on it tonight, isn't he?
Hang on.
Oh, brilliant one from Peter Chelmsford.
Oh, hold on, I ain't got there yet. Hang on, wait there. Right.
Hermit crab.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Jeff Pike in midfield.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Oh, I like it, Peter. Like it. Pikey.
Matt Van Rat, yeah, and you ain't
Yeah,
got to
yeah.
change none of that.
Look at this.
There you
Look, the next one, Dan Pet Rescue. Dan Petrescu, look at him. Wasn't he a fullback at Chelsea? Right there?
Very good. Yeah, he was Chelsea, wasn't he, at one time?
Chelsea fullback, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
Dan Petrescu, I remember him.
Very
Fucking hell, he's-
good.
Great memory, Balls Deep. Great memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's good. Come on, keep them coming. Keep them coming. We like this.
Good fun.
We got what was his name? Was it Kevin Dove? Was it Kevin Dove? I can't remember now. Over it. Oh look, Mark Fish. Very clever, Brendan.
Fish. Was he Charlton?
Yeah, I think he was. Joe
Ooh,
Hart.
Joe Hart. Good one.
That's very clever. Very good. Hope you hang your tang.
Obiang-Atang, I love that one. That's fucking
That's
brilliant.
fucking brilliant. Jared Bower in.
Third Bowen, yeah. Lee Cattermole.
Cat and Mole. David Kelly, Donkey. Frank Lamapard. Oh dear.
Oh god.
Ronald Dino. Yeah. Paul Dickoff's parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why would you call your son Paul? Paul Dickoff. Kurt Donkey Zuma, yeah.
I don't think Barry's it.
Okay.
Oh, Andy Soul,
Andrew
yeah.
Soul.
Andy Soul, remember Man United striker? Shea
Shaved
Gibbon.
Gibbon. Yeah, not Shay Gibbon. Shaved Gibbon. Oh, these are great. I like this. This is really good. Kevin Dove sounds Hopper.
Yeah.
Dimitri Payet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we ain't got any more in yet.
Very
See
good.
if we can think of any, boys. Come on. See if we can think of any of these. What we got here? Oh. City triggered Gamarish's release clause. Looks like Paquetá will be staying.
Yeah, well, no surprise there. I mean, like I said, I think any move to City is dead regardless of the outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gamarish is a good player, though.
Yeah. Oh, we've got some more. Kevin Horlock. Remember Kevin Horlock, Man City? Was it?
Yeah, I do, yeah. David Donkey Moyes. Yeah, we've got plenty of donkeys.
Declan Mice.
Declan Mice. The lesser spotted Creswell.
Yeah. Manager Sam Koala Dice.
Koala Dice.
Fucking hell. That's pushy, that.
Alan, good morning to you, sir. -1 and first frost of the winter.
We
Got the frost. He's got the frost line now. Well done, Alan.
Best you get that old open fire fired up there, Alan.
Yeah, he needs it down there.
Albion Yeti.
But do we have any release date for a new kit or?
No. Strange, that. Nothing.
Moment. They're saying it's going to be similar to this, you know, the cart body, but they're saying that it's got like the Umbro motif embossed into it, like we had the bubbles last year. This has got chevrons on it. You know, it's going to have the Umbro, but apparently the Umbro badge on the side's got a red diamond in the centre. This is the ones that people have said are leaked, whether that's true or not. White shorts and white socks, by the way, is what I've heard. That's what I've heard.
Is it?
Sonics. I've heard he's a very good player, actually.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
With a name like that, you wouldn't expect him to be homegrown, either, would you?
Yeah.
I think he's homegrown.
I didn't really see any of Blackburn last season, so I have to plead ignorance on this one, I'm afraid. Wayne Kangarooni, brilliant. Peter
Beardsley, yeah.
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse Antonio.
Yeah. Ashley Vole, very
Ashley
good.
Vole, very good shot. Another day and another link to the next Messi. Yeah.
Yeah.
All fixtures are out on Tuesday. Who do you want for the first game?
Yeah.
Do you know what I reckon? I reckon we should have Newcastle at home. I reckon that's what it's going to be, actually. Newcastle at home.
Who would you like? I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind Ipswich first game.
Actually, that's kind of like a derby-ish, isn't it? It's a John Lyall derby.
We got the Cresswell link. I say, we make Cresswell the captain for the game, and that's it. And give him some gate receipts. That could be his testimonial.
Yeah.
First game up.
That's all they'll give him is the fucking receipts. They won't give him any of the money.
Well, I don't give him too much. He's earning enough already. Fuck him.
I do remember
Jetty, yeah. I had high hopes for him, funny enough. We pissed him off to Celtic, didn't we, Karina?
That was him.
Yeah.
That was him.
Yeah, we sent him up to Celtic. Yeah, had high hopes for that boy. Never quite made it, did he?
What was he? Austrian or something, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that, wasn't it? We never get our kits out quickly. Just give me another black third, I beg.
Yeah,
well, I want to see the light blue with 2 parrot hoops going right round the body. I want that back because I haven't got that shirt and I want one.
Yeah.
And I can't get any of the retro ones in the club shop.
I had the bloody original, Budge. I don't have much.
Oh, mate, I want one. I want one.
I ain't got it now.
Yeah, he was even crap at Celtic, says Mark.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Do you know what? Actually,
we've
let me just.
Yeah, remember we tried doing that thing where we were trying to take like the best youngsters from other academies, and we've been absolutely dreadful at it.
Yeah.
Not one of them's turned out to be any good.
Blue Titty Kamara.
Remember there was that Martinez lad. You remember we got in, and we got the guy from who was the guy we got from Reading? That youngster as well. He had really high hopes for him. We've never seen him again. His name escapes me, but
Yeah.
and there was that Eastern European lad as well. I can't remember. I think we moved him on to Ajax
And
or
that
something.
young Brazilian defender that,
Benovich or something. Yeah.
yeah. Jesse Linksgaard. I'll tell you what, come on. Let's change it up a little bit. Yeah, Drew Peacock. I remember a Dave Peacock.
Yeah, there was a Peacock. Yeah,
There was a Gavin Peacock, wasn't
there
there?
was a goalkeeper, Gavin Peacock. No, weren't a goalkeeper.
No, he wasn't. But there was a Gavin Peacock. Was he
Yeah.
QPR or something?
might have been. Yeah,
Robbie Fowler.
Oh, pretty foul.
Colton Mole.
Carlton.
Right, let's switch it with Gavin Peacock, see?
Yeah, there you go. Oh, there he is. Yeah, Angelo
Dogbonner, yeah. Goose Hiddink.
nice, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
Yeah, it would be, Alan.
That'd be brilliant.
That'd be worth getting up at 5 in the morning to watch, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd be end their Premier League hopes on day one.
Actually, do you know what? If it's a 3 o'clock kickoff, that would, at this moment in time, when the season starts, you'll be back to 10 hours in front of us, won't you?
Yeah. So if we got 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon kickoff, that's 1 in the morning here.
1 in the morning for you, isn't it?
Yeah. That's a tough ask, I tell you.
Yeah.
Well, when you're doing well, you sometimes you got to bed a couple of hours or stay straight up and watch it. But see, the last 2 seasons of the Premier League, I didn't watch any of them. I just got up at 5 or 6 in the morning and then watched it because you knew it was going to be fucking dreadful under Moyes. So I just couldn't be asked. It was terrible. But maybe this year will be different.
Phil Foden.
Yeah. Is Antonio leaving? We don't know as yet.
I highly doubt it. I doubt it.
No, not looking like it.
First game will be Arsenal, hopefully, Peter. At home.
Yeah. I'd love to put in the Premier League hopes right on day fucking 1.
Waiting for him to bring out the claret and blue camo.
You know what I'd love? In one of the shirts, either home or away, I'd love him to do something like the 85-86 with the pinstripe.
Yeah, that was cracking kit, wasn't it?
That was absolutely beautiful. That like the home end. I've got the home one.
The Avro kit, wasn't it?
Avco.
Yeah. Avco.
I've got the home one. I'm trying to find the away one. 85-86 one. Absolutely beautiful.
White with the 2 claret pinstripes and a blue one in between, yeah?
No, it was just the whole way around was pinstripes going down.
Yeah. I wore to the 80 Cup final the white shirt that we played in.
Yeah, the pinstripes were going across. Excuse me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Yeah. It's probably my favorite kit we've ever had. Like that away one, that white away one, that pinstripe 85-86.
Yeah.
Absolutely
gorgeous. It was one of our better seasons in the Premier League. Should have won it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
McAvenny. Some good players. You know what? Earlier on today, I watched the full game of the Bradford game. You know, the 5-4 Bradford.
5-4.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, one of the standout players in that team is a player that not many people really speak of, was Scott Minto. He was brilliant in that game. Absolutely quality. He was brilliant in defence, and he was pretty good going forward.
But, good player, Scott.
Eh?
It was a good player, Scott.
Yeah, I thought so. He grew up in Crawley, just up the road from me. Anton. Okay.
Well, yeah, he was Swiss, actually. He was Swiss, Jetty.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, I think he was.
I knew it was a foreign.
I think he was Swiss, yeah.
Thank you for correcting us, Peter. What do you
Don't
think?
read that out. Don't, it's a trap.
Don't know anything about it, Gio. Sorry.
It's a trap.
Yeah.
Don't know anything about it, mate.
Shave it.
Yeah.
I think that shaver pussy is another Brazilian, isn't it?
Hey, you in there, Tommy?
Yeah, mate.
Like it.
Go on. That's it. That's actually a very good one, though.
Yeah, I'll ask you a quick. You know, do you know what makes me sick? All right.
Putting your fingers down your throat.
Yeah. Right. That old joke I've told a million times, right? What show did that come from? And I'm talking late 70s here.
Shaver pussy.
No, there's a joke out there, Tommy, I've told it a million times. I'll just say to people, do you know what makes me sick? And I go, what? And I'll say, sticking my fingers down my throat. All right? It came from a show in the late 70s. What show did it come from? That line.
Oh, I'm going to have a guess. Malcolm and Wise.
No.
Little and Large?
No. It's more... It was more modern comedy. If you think about the era of music of 77, 78,
Right.
that is sort of a clue. The music that came out in 77, what show did that line come from?
Life on Mars.
No.
Right, okay.
Was it a comedy? It was a
Think about the punk era.
Punk era.
This show.
Was it the Young Ones?
Well done, Tommy boy. Well done.
There you
That
go.
was the clue. It was the Young Ones.
There you go. Right.
Do you want to hear it? All right, fuck it. We're on jokes. Seeing as the Euros are in Germany, I'm going to tell you a joke that I love. Okay, because I love really stupid dry jokes. So, this Irish couple decide to adopt this German baby, and after a few months, they realize he's not saying any words. No mama, no papa, no nothing. So they take him to the doctor, and the doctor sends him to a specialist who checks out his throat. And specialist comes back and says, "Yeah, look, his voice box, his vocal cords, everything looks normal. There's no reason he shouldn't be forming words. I don't know why he's not." So they decide to send him to a child psychologist who works with him for months, trying to get him to draw him out, get him to say some words. Fucking child won't say a thing. So in the end, the parents just throw the hat at it and say, "Look, he's just never going to talk. We just have to accept it." And then when the kid's about 12 years old, the mother gives him some strudel, and she sits down to eat hers. And the next thing he pipes up, "These strudels are lukewarm." And the mother's jaw hits the floor. And she's like, "Oh my God," you can talk. She's, "All this time you could talk. 12 years. She says, "Why have you never said anything before?" And he says, "Until now, everything has been quite satisfactory."
Fucking hell. Very German.
Yeah.
Very good.
Terrible.
Well, I was watching something on TikTok earlier, and there's a couple of American guys who either do no, not American, sorry, Australian guys, and they like read out people's nicknames and stuff like that on this radio show or something, and it anyway, that they read out people's nicknames, and one that really tickled me earlier was this guy said, "We've got an electrician at work who looks like Elton John, and they call him Socket Man." I was pissing myself laughing. Socket Man. Yeah,
Very
right.
good. Like there's a guy in that lives in the town near me here in Christie, and when he walks, like his head like goes over and back like that, so everyone just calls him Christie TikTok.
I've got a friend, right? I'm not going to name him just in case he ever stumbles upon this. But I've got a friend who was in a very serious car accident, and it left him with one leg shorter than the other. I mean, he spent, I don't know, a year or more in a coma. But he learned to walk again and everything. But when I was a cab driver at the time this happened, and I got this call through on the radio, and he said to me, "Right, you got to go to such and such a pub." I said, "Right, who am I picking up?" He said, "The Sniper's Nightmare." I knew exactly who he meant as well, my mate.
Yeah. Or there was a guy who went to like 1:30 in the morning. He went to a 24-hour petrol station, rocked up to the little window. There's a girl working inside there. He says, "Can I get a 1 liter carton of milk, a half dozen eggs, and like a half slice, a half loaf of bread?" And she said, "You're single, aren't you?" He's like, "Yeah. How did you know?" She said, "Because you're an ugly looking cunt."
I remember that joke. I've told that joke a few times, Tom. Similar to that, anyway.
Oh, dear.
Okay, on that horrible note, I'm going to have to go, folks. 'Cause I got work in the
Okay.
morning. So I don't want
Yeah,
to
well, we're going to start wrapping up anyway.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasurable hour and 27 minutes. Thank you for joining us, Tom. Much appreciated.
Yeah, Tom.
When are we going to see you on a Friday night again, mate?
Oh, I don't think it'll be this Friday because we'll be working late, but I'll probably do the Friday after. I'm not doing as many over the close season.
Yeah.
Obviously, when we get back to playing some games, I'll have a bit more to talk about. Plus, we, as of yet, don't have any signings even really, and I don't want to do the whole transfer rumors thing. I get really
No, that's not our thing either, Tom. It gets boring. So
Yeah,
yeah,
mate.
it does.
Everyone else does that anyway. So
Yeah, I tend to be just let me know when someone turns up for a medical.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll probably get linked to about 300 players over the summer. So
And that's what happened. But you got the Euros, Tommy. Oh no, you haven't, have you? We've got the Euros.
yeah,
I watched Ireland the other night. The highlights of it, the Portugal game. Ronaldo again bangs in two. Should have had a hat trick, but yeah, it's a fair poor team, isn't it? The Irish team at the moment. It's fairly bang average.
We don't have the players, to be honest.
No, I've told this story to Budgie a few times. That when I first came into Australia, I played for a team, Surfers Paradise and Apollo, and there was a boy there, and his name was Charlo, and I didn't think nothing of it. And after a few weeks in pre-season and that, the boy said, "Do you know who he is?" And I went, "No, who is it?" And I said, "That's Jack Charlton's son." And I went, "Oh, is it?" He said, "Yeah, that's." I only know him as Charlo. So I ended up playing with Jack Charlton's son, and he's top boy. We ended up becoming good friends, and I met Jack when he came over. And this is back in 1988. You know, when they were going to the Euros with Jack Charlton, and John, his name's John, and he actually went over, and he was on the bench with his dad in the Euros. So yeah, good, top lad, good lad, really good lad.
Good times.
When Jack put a team together that Ireland were enjoying, they were good.
Yeah, but we had some, we had some very good players in the team, which helps. So unfortunately not anymore. We had the likes of John Aldrich and Ray Houghton, and with some really, really good players in that team, and so he was able, he was able to get a tune out of them, and
exactly, and Townsend and
Townsend was in there, and so
I think it's a similar trajectory that Scotland have gone though, Tommy. Back in them days, right? The first division as it was just littered with top Scottish players and Irish players. and they've seemed to have died off. The more foreign players, I think, been brought into the Scottish leagues and whatever. Them top players now out of Scotland are very rare.
Yeah, it's much more difficult now to come through an academy system, and it's been cheaper for a long time now just to go and grab someone young and very talented and ready to go on the continent. So,
it's a shame.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think actually, like young Irish talent would probably be better off now going to what might be considered a lesser league in order to kind of get first team chances. So maybe go somewhere else. Go to Belgium or go to Holland or go somewhere else where they still bring through kind of more players through the youth systems because of their financial constraints. So it's very difficult now at Premier League level. Youngsters have to be really exceptional.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And the exceptional ones have got to stop changing their allegiance.
Yeah, well, but like it's only and not all players are going to be exceptional early doors. Some of them just need a bit of time to develop and become exceptional. So it's a shame, but that's the way it is at the moment. So it's hard to see too bright of a future for Ireland at the moment going forward.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, thank you very much. I do have to go, but I really
see you later, Tommy.
Lovely to see you, mate.
Sometime if you'll have me.
Yeah, no problem at all, buddy.
All the best, mate.
Cheers, boys.
Tom. Take care, buddy. And we are going to wrap things up as well, Kieran, as well, mate. I know it's a bit early, but it gives people a chance that are working in the morning to get up a bit earlier.
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody that's tuned in to watch live, and also those in the chat. Oh, what an album that was! Here's the have it.
1977, I bought that.
Wow. Wow. I wish I could find. I've got an original copy of the UB40 album, Signing Off. I think it's downstairs, actually. Yeah, I've got an original copy.
Well, that one?
That one, yes, that one there. Yeah, mine's in a plastic sleeve, though. Keep it nice.
Oh, yeah, we all do, Joe. You do all the things that are nice.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Oh, the Clash. Yeah. Oh, well, we can have another 10 minutes talking about music if you want.
Yeah, and there's a favourite of mine too.
Hold on, who's that? Hang on, who is that?
That's Big Audio Dynamite.
Big Audio, yes, they're brilliant.
Brilliant band, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, usual straight is. He knows the rules.
Yeah.
He knows the rules, mate. You've got to finish it a bit of music shit.
Oh, there we go. That radio show with the nicknames is called Rock Drive with Jay and Dunk. Oh, it's New Zealand based.
It's New Zealand, yeah. But there is show. Ain't much. There's one in Sydney. The boys do that, and they're funny as fuck as well. They come up with some real weird shit. Yeah. Funny as fuck. Yeah, there is a Sydney based couple that do. Forget their names, but yeah.
Yeah. Barry, that's very kind of you to say so. Thank you very much, mate.
Cheers, Barry.
Thank you for all of the kind comments we've had this evening. Throughout the evening, it's been really nice. Yes, I do remember that. Yeah, No More Heroes. Stranglers. Loved them. Loved them. Right, okay, well, anyway, listen.
I know who suggested, was it usual or not? I can't remember.
Yeah. Go on, you know
who suggested that Ray? I did look at her, said it was similar to Amy Winehouse. And I did have a little look. And really good voice. Not as good as Amy for me, but yeah, top voice.
Yeah, really good. Really. There's a few really good artists around at the moment. In fact, I don't know what sort of music. Really, sometimes I like a bit of swing and jazz, right?
Yeah.
And I listen on YouTube to a group called Postmodern Jukebox. And what they do is they'll take a song like, for example, I'm Only Human by, what's his bloody face? Oh, God, I've forgotten his name now. Anyway, yeah, they'll take a modern song and they'll put like a swing background track to it, or jazz track to it, and they changed the lyrics. They changed not the lyrics, the vocal, to suit that style of music. Really good. They've done all sorts of stuff. Cliff Richard? No, not Cliff Richard.
What do you mean by Anti-Nowhere League there? Human League? I've got a Human League thing here somewhere.
Not Human League. No, there's an actual band called the Anti-Nowhere League.
Oh, is there? No, I don't know that.
They were quite sort of. They weren't exactly underground, but you had to like them, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, right.
They were one of them bands like the Buzzcocks. They were a band that you either knew or you didn't know. Do you know what I mean? Until they got into the charts with Ever Fallen in Love, of course.
I did forget, though, to mention over the week, Skeezer, one of my favourite albums ever, right?
Go on.
And it's partly because of my Irish heritage, because I like Irish music too. And it's
the Pogues. Oh, yeah.
Right. They were this album, I Should Fall From Grace With God, is one of the best albums ever, right? It's brilliant.
Yeah.
There you
go. There you go. Look, Sean says that Postmodern Jukebox appears on his Facebook feed all the time. They are brilliant.
Jukebox. That's what it's called, is it?
Postmodern Jukebox, yeah. Postmodern Jukebox, yeah. You should give them a look. They're really good. Really good. They have guest vocalists and that. Oh, hello, Ian Jury and the Blockheads.
Yeah.
Is that who we're looking at there, Ian Jury? Yeah, mate. Yeah.
He's gone now, isn't he? Boy, he's gone,
yeah, bless him. Saw Postmodern Jukebox in Budapest about 7 years ago when I was living there, says Brendan. Nice. They're very good. They are very good. Another good band, Electric Light Orchestra. I agree, David.
Yeah, they were good, man.
Or shall I call you Ballbag? No, I think David's probably better. Check out Ren. Back on 74 for some swinging jazzy.
Mate, that is a great track. What have we got? I'm calling him Anger. Exponential. But have you heard that yet, Budge? Back on 74?
Don't think I
It's recent, right? He done it about, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago, dropped it. It's fucking brilliant. It's a great track. And he's more of a rap. Well, I don't know how you class Ren. Is he rap? I don't know. He does them all. He does it all. But he does this. It's basically taking you back to the 70s sort of music, right? These two black backup singers are unbelievable. And it's a mixture of, it's called Back on 74 dash Message in a Bottle. And he's mixed it and it's fucking brilliant. It really is good. So, yeah. So Exponential, yep.
Saw 2 cellos.
I saw 2 cellos and all.
Yeah. Ren's.
Yeah, I don't think you could class him. I don't know what to class him as. He's out there, man.
No. Depressions.
No, I haven't, Mark.
Oh.
I haven't.
Thank you, David Moyes' left ball bag. Rag and Bone Man is who I was trying to think of with I'm Only Human.
That was brilliant, wasn't it? What track was that, Budge? He done a right cover, didn't he? Brilliant.
Who? Rag and Bone Man?
Rag and Bone Man wanted a cover?
No. He's done all his own stuff so far, as I'm aware.
I just thought there was one big hit he had that was a cover. I could be wrong.
He done that I'm Only Human and
I'm Only Human. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That was it.
big one. Kieran and Budgie, check out Jules Buckley and Heritage Orchestra doing old school Ibiza dance music.
That'd be good.
That a look. Jules Buckley and Heritage Orchestra. Yeah, right. I'll start that. Yeah, they were around in the 80s apparently, the Depression. And Lynn says the Struts, check them out. Lead singer, amazing. I actually have heard of them before.
Heard the name, but don't know.
I've listened to some of their stuff before. Went to see the Pogues before they were famous. Spoke to Shane McGowan before.
Really? Brilliant show. Brilliant. Mate, they were good. Oh, Shane, he went was it last year he went?
Yeah, I think it was.
It's such a mess, but what a band. Brilliant. Love them.
Oh gosh, look. Stray Cat Strut. I remember that, the Stray Cats.
Remember the Stray Cats?
Yeah, that was one of their tracks, Stray Cat Strut. I think that even hit #1. The Damned were a great band. They were a good band. Used to love them. Right, okay, look, let's call it a night here. I'm getting hungry again, and I've got to get up for work in the morning. So, guys, thank you for joining us in the chat. Thank you for viewing, those of you that haven't chatted, and those of you that are watching this on replay, thank you for getting this far in without getting bored. We'll see you next week. We'll have something different for you next week. We're not sure what. Hopefully, we'll have a few confirmed signings for you. You never know. Neat. Thank you. Great show as always.
Yeah, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Yeah.
Pink Floyd fans in here? Not really.
Not for me.
Pink Floyd. Saw the Pogues at Norwich, Wembley, and a place called
in Tralee.
In Tralee, where Irish Tommy lives. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. New Rose. Cheers, GP. Great show, chat.
See you, Brendan.
Next week. Sid Barrett era was cool. Right. Okay. That's it. Guys, girls, thank you so much for joining us. We are going to disappear now. Take care. See you next Wednesday. Probably going to go back to the usual time of 7:30 for you, Kieran. It'll be.
Right, Brad.
10:30 for us over here. 5:30 in some parts of America and Canada. So thank you guys. We'll see you next week. Take care.
All the best, chaps.
Come on, you irons. Oh gosh.
Have it.
Wrong.
Press that button.